frequently identified by more than one name. In 1995, 35 years after Bombay had been designated the capital of Maharashtra, its name was changed to Mumbai by a coalition of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Shiv Sena, which had just been elected to run the state government. Bombayites opposed the change. This angered the Shiv Sena, who vandalized structures and threatened celebrities for using the name Bombay. Since I still refer to the city as Bombay, I wondered what name its residents used. When asked, do you think of the city's name as Bombay or Mumbai? 54% of the 30 respondents said Bombay. 13% thought of the city as Mumbai, and the others used either name, depending on who they were speaking to. For example, some use Mumbai when speaking to new acquaintances, others when talking to younger people. The people I surveyed they form part of, they represent less than 0.1% of Bombay's population. They are part of India's social and intellectual elite. So to get a different perspective, I looked at the comments to an online survey entitled, "How well do you know Mumbai?" Of the 37 respondents, 38% referred to the city as Bombay, 40% called it Mumbai, and 22% used both names. The respondents to the online survey were more evenly divided than the respondents to my survey were. From a linguistics perspective, is it feasible for a city to have distinct but co-referring names? Gottlob Frege, a mathematician, logician, and philosopher, offered a solution to the issue of co-referring names with his puzzle. Hesperus is Hesperus, Hesperus is phosphorus. What this means is, if an entity is referred to as the evening star or Hesperus when visible in the evening sky, and as the morning star or phosphorus when visible in the morning sky, then Venus has co-referring names. The sense of each name is different. Venus is not referred to as the evening star in the morning, and vice versa. Similarly, a person who refers to the capital of Maharashtra as Bombay has a different sense of the city from the person who refers to the city as Mumbai. This is the crux of Frege's theory of sense and reference. But what if a person is unaware of the co-referring name? Suppose Adam says, "I'm flying to Bombay tonight," then responds, "Bombay? I thought the meeting was in Mumbai." Adam explains, Bombay and Mumbai are two names for the same city. Ben's introduction to the name Bombay is a baptismal event or dubbing, and is the next link in the chain of baptismal events for the name Bombay. According to Saul Kripke's theory of the causal chain of reference, as more people associate a referent with a name, the name becomes more acceptable by the community. When a person chooses which name he wants to use, the name that makes more sense becomes the one that would be used more frequently. But what is sense? A person's sense of a referent is inherent in how they uniquely identify the referent according to John Searle's description theory of proper names. Descriptors such as the most cosmopolitan city in India and the Indian city vying for membership in the network of global cities as defined by New York, Paris, London, and Tokyo would be recognized as allusions to Bombay. Whereas a speaker who refers to the city as the ancestral home of the Koli, fisherfolk, or as a city named in deference to the Koli goddess Mumba Devi, exhibits his or her sense of the city as being tied to the name Mumbai. Each name elicits a different sense of the city. So does sense affect the truth value of an utterance such as, Bombay is the capital of Maharashtra, or Mumbai is the capital of Maharashtra? Since the Indian government still recognizes Bombay as the name of the capital of Maharashtra, and according to the state government, the name can only be Mumbai, both names accurately reference the same place. Thus, the truth values of both statements are preserved. So is there greater justification for referring to the city by one name or the other? Before the Europeans discovered the area, coolies lived on various islands scattered throughout the bay. 7 of these islands, which had been appropriated by the Portuguese, were included in the dowry of Catherine of Braganza when she married King Charles II. 7 years later, in 1668, the British East India Company leased the islands from the British Crown for £10 a year, because Bombay Island had a perfect harbour for larger trading ships. The Portuguese had also recognized this and had named the area Boa Bahia, which means good bay. The name Bombay was probably an anglicization of either Mumbai or Boa Bahia, or maybe it was a combination of the two names. Whatever the source of the name, the city of Bombay did not exist till the East India Company developed Bombay Island. This entailed building a quay and warehouses, expanding fortifications begun by the Portuguese, and connecting the islands with causeways and extensive reclamation of the marshy areas between the islands. The governors of the East India Company also enticed tradesmen to relocate to the area. Parsis, Gujaratis, Marwaris, and Bohra Muslims immigrated from all over India and neighboring countries to set up businesses. The labor was provided primarily by immigrant and resident Maharashtrians. Even today, Maharashtrian labor keeps India's economic engine running. But would there be an economic engine to run if the non-Maharashtrian immigrants had not invested in the area? Though Bombay is home to approximately 1.7% of India's population, it generates approximately 6% of India's GDP, primarily due to the business acumen of non-Maharashtrian immigrants, like the Tatas, the Birlas, and the Ambanis, India's Carnegies and Rockefellers. Even today, Maharashtrians are a minority in Bombay. According to the 1991 census, only 18% of Bombay's residents were Maharashtrians, and though today more Maharashtrians are immigrating to Bombay than are immigrants from other communities, they remain a minority of Bombay's population. On October 19, 2014, the Shiv Sena lost the state assembly elections. Will this decline in the Sena's political clout free people to choose which name they want to use? Maybe, or maybe not. 10 days ago, the New York Times reported that the only word India's censor board objected to in a newly released music video was Bombay. 2 decades after the name change, the questions remain. Will one name become the preferred reference for the city, or will the dubbing process continue for both names? Ultimately, the speaker's age, political philosophies, socioeconomic status, and primary language will factor into the individual's sense of the city and play out in the name by which they choose to reference the